background noise.
Because the game's just started.
Yeah. So here he is in Week 16. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as I was just telling Vinny, it's kind of funny because Baltimore Ravens were formerly known as the Cleveland Browns, who I played last week. Facebook, I need to go into YouTube, not Facebook. So I'll post a video, and Vinny can put the video in the playlist.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my phone to reset, and then I'm going to do it. If you hear any noise in my background, I'm watching 1990 Spurs and Trailblazers Game 5 of their Western Conference semifinal. Hopefully it's not too distracting and too loud.
I typically block out basketball.
I will be coming to you live later tonight with the little showcase game, and that will leave just Phantom Fighter's last game for Week 16.
Let's see if Bowman could have a good one today. Oh, excuse me. Both teams are 4-10. Neither one of them have a chance at anything beyond this. It's really just placement in the division.
So I learned something interesting today while I was setting up the 1965. I've got the draft all, everybody's dressed, and I was getting the transactions so I know when we have to do what. You actually cut at Brown, or the Steelers cut at Brown in 65 during the season.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, and the Colts pick him up, so we'll change it to a trade just to make it easier. But yeah, I was surprised.
He's currently not starting, I don't believe. No, I got Bill Nelson back in there. He was chucking too many INTs. Not that Bill Nelson is doing much better. He's got 4 more INTs than he does touchdowns.
Yeah.
I have a bad feeling if I was going to that other play that QB draw was one of my selections. Felt like if I was to pick that, I'd have been in trouble. Here we are, May 12th, 2020, dealing with the corona. Evil government trying to keep the state or country shut down, and it's fucking snowing.
Yeah. Let me say something, all right? Let me just say something. We're going to go ahead and bring up politics. Let me say something. Governor Cuomo just saying today that schools are archaic and outdated, and he doesn't even know why the buildings still exist, or something to that effect.
Yeah, he's saying some dumb
You don't understand, Governor Cuomo does like to have a child who needs that one-on-one with a teacher.
Yes.
My son is struggling through this shutdown and this homeschooling, and my wife and I are not equipped to be teachers, and we are trying the best we can. So, Governor Cuomo, stick it up your ass. Okay,
wholeheartedly agree. Parents, we have our own way of teaching things for life lessons and such, but schools are specially designed to and equipped to handle dealing with children for other types of education, and it's been that way for years. And teachers, God bless them, put up with some crazy bullshit from both kids and parents. And even my kids are dealing. They want to go back to school. They miss their teachers.
Yeah. I don't know.
The attitudes are getting out of whack because they're off kilter. They're not in their normal routine.
And that's the thing. For the kids that are homeschooled and their parents do it, God bless them. But those parents made a decision to do this.
Yeah.
And they put the time and effort in that they need to in order for their kids to succeed in that environment. My wife and I are not equipped for this. Neither one of us went to school to be teachers.
Oh. I'll be the first to admit, I am not good at things like English class, where it involves writing and things like that. Granted, I am a straight-up grammar Nazi and all that, but that does not remotely qualify me to be able to teach
Oh yeah.
That type of.
I've always said I am one of the smartest dumbasses you'll ever meet because I have an IQ of 162, but yet I cannot relate what's in my head to you. I can't explain it to you so that you can grasp it and understand it the same way I do.
Right.
And it's just, and now for me to take a child who has a learning, not disability, but he's ADHD,
right,
and try to get it to him, that's just it's not working.
That, and he has his own way of learning.
Not to mention that times have changed. There's a 30-year age difference between myself and my son.
Right.
So the way I was taught doesn't exist anymore.
No. Missed that wide open receiver.
Man, I love the paint job on this old Blazers. I forget what this arena was called, but the black and white and the red matched together just looks pretty snappy. What Portland does nowadays is just too much. And classic uniforms. Both teams wearing black and white. What is it? Memorial Coliseum. Now it's the Moda Center. I don't know if it's the same building or not, but this game is on YouTube if you're for those basketball fans. Huh?
The quarterback got RPO. He started running, got hit, and fumbled.
Perfect. I just watched the end of it.
Here we go. Kids nowadays, they don't have any concept of what distance learning is. College does distance learning.
Yeah, I mean, you can expect it in college, especially if you sign up for, like University of Southern New Hampshire or University of Phoenix or something like that.
Kids, they kind of need people to be there. Damn, apparently on 4th and short, I can't get nothing right now. I really want to find an old K5.
What's that?
K5 Blazer.
Oh.
Because that way I could take the back cap off. And it's kind of like a convertible truck.
Well. So, looks like we got some proposals on the table for live sports. Major League Baseball owners have sent a proposal to the Players Union. I haven't read it all. It does seem to involve a heavy 82-game season and a heavy emphasis on regional matchups, which is cool. And then I guess the NBA has sent a proposal to the players as well to get back on the court. So we're getting there. NASCAR's up and running this Sunday. UFC had an event this past weekend. Korea's baseball league is up and going. There was a horse racing event 2 Saturdays ago in Arkansas. Not, one of the big 3 or anything like that, but it's something.
Right.
And I understand there's going to be no fans for a while, and I'm cool with that because we need something. I got into a discussion with a coworker at the power plant the other day, and he's over it. He's like, I don't even care if they come back or not. And I was like, well, all you do is watch PBS and NPR. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, we need some kind of distraction because not everybody can sit there and watch the BBC and whatever news he watches.
Right.
We need something, and, wrestling has been going right along. The WWE has not stopped. They've had events every week without fans, and I watched Raw last night. It was a little weird. It was the first event I'd watched without fans. It was a little strange, but yet it was something live.
You need something
and
to distract
on TV.
you from the bullshit. That's the whole point of television in the first place. You know, that's why we have sports. That's why they pumped in so many millions of dollars into entertainment. That's why they pay them ridiculous salaries to fucking, because they're entertainers. You know.
Yep.
I mean, I don't agree that they should be making millions upon millions of fucking dollars, but they are there for your entertainment.
Here's my thing about that. I wouldn't mind if the sports leagues got together and put together scholarship funds, not necessarily for players of their own sport. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
But for kids in their region, in their cities, in their states, whatever, and put some money back into the communities, because too many, especially nowadays, too many players act like they're entitled, and that their opinion means more than. And if there's one thing that this shutdown has given us, it's shown us who the real heroes are, who the real important people are, and that's the essential workers, the frontline workers, the first responders. But as far as the athletes making millions of dollars, I have no problem with it, because we're spending the money on them, so they should enjoy the benefits for their effort when they're now. Perhaps the ticket prices are exorbitant, especially when you're talking baseball, midweek, midday game in Yankee Stadium.
Here's the thing. My issue with the salaries is this. They're literally
You're hard to hear
playing... Can you hear me now?
Yes.
They're literally playing a sport which millions of people play all the fucking time, every fucking day. Okay? I could sit there and watch a fucking high school team play the goddamn games and spend, what, $5 to get into the game?
Yep.
And that's to support school and all that. But you're going to sit there and tell me I got to spend $300 fucking dollars for fucking nosebleed seats?
That's the issue.
The same fucking thing? And
that's the issue right there.
I do believe that, you know what, great that they're on a professional level. They've rose creme de la creme, whatever the fuck. Cap their fucking salaries. They don't need to be making $100 million over their career for 3 fucking years, even.
Well, especially for those that don't know how to invest.
Right.
They ought to put the league ought to put, and that actually falls on the union being greedy.
Right.
The smart, because they don't. The owners, the ticket prices, that's a separate issue.
An entertainment venue should have a capped salary.
Believe it or not, the athletes don't make their salaries on ticket prices. They make their salaries in the TV money.
Right.
You know. But the owners, the concession stands, the tickets, that's all just money in their pockets. Mm-hmm. The TV is where the league pays its bills, revenue sharing for the league, and pays its players.
Right.
Because their TV contracts are so exorbitant. And that's fine. I'm fine with it. If the networks have the money to blow, it allows me to watch the game, so I'm fine with that. When you bring up the point of the $300 for a ticket cost to get into a nosebleed seat, this is where I go back. I was starting to say, Yankee Stadium on a Wednesday or a Thursday getaway day, usually, for a 1 o'clock game, Yankees versus the freaking Florida Marlin, or Tampa Bay Rays in May, and it's $300 to get in the game, and you wonder why they're sitting half empty. And then the goddamn announcers who are employed by the Yankees can't even tell you the truth, and will talk about a packed stadium. No, it's not a packed stadium, but the owners are greedy, and all that money is just money on the top, because they're getting their deal from ESPN. They're getting their money from, especially a Wednesday 1 o'clock game. ESPN's probably covering that. Or if they're not, ESPN Plus has got it. Yes Network has got it. And Yes Network brings in a ton of revenue as well. So,
see, I think the professional sport athletes' salaries should be incentive-based and not contractual. In other words, you want to make $10 million in a year? Motherfucker,
you can have money in there. Yeah, you can have things in their contract that state
Right.
You know,
Like they do
the contract
bonuses
keeps
right
them
now.
under. Well, you look at the WWE's contracts. It is a sliding scale based on how well you do. Because if you come in and are nothing but enhancement talent your whole career, you're going to make the low end of the scale.
Right.
But if you get over, you find ways to get your character on TV and then start getting the pay-per-views and get the bigger matches, and the bigger matches, you're going to earn more money. You also earn money on the merchandise sale, which is where college players being able to be paid starting this year, if they have college sports, earning money on their likeness and their merchandise is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because they deserve it. For people that come out and say that college players are getting paid by the scholarship, yes, they are. They're getting a free education. But at the same time, if I want to be able to sell, all right, I will relate it back to pro wrestling again. There is no college in pro wrestling.
Right.
What happens is called the independents. You go on the independents to learn your craft. You try and get booked. You get paid maybe $50 a night. Where you make your money on the indies is your T-shirt. You come up with something that gets over, like the Young Bucks and their Super Kick Party. Because they delivered the Super Kick so often, the Super Kick Party became a huge thing. It actually became the beginning of their music. Super Kick Party! Right. And they were able to make T-shirts to relate that and sell them and make more money on the T-shirts than they would at the booking at all.
Right.
And that's how
and that's
you progress and get your way up to the WWE or the AEW and get the big money.
Yeah. If they were to do things like that with things like the NFL or, again, make it incentive-based and cap it out, you wouldn't have prima donnas like Dak Prescott, who hasn't won has he won a playoff game yet? I don't remember.
Yes.
I think he's got one playoff game.
There was a wild card win against Detroit. Was that Dak? No, that was Tony Romo.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think he has.
So but he's a prime example. He hasn't done shit in his career. Oh, you were a flash fucking rookie in the pan. Great. What can you fucking do? You haven't won a championship.
Did he make some kind of comment about him being a Super Bowl champion?
He said something stupid. I know that.
Yeah.
That's Jesus Christ. That was a bad play. He made some dumb comments. Regardless, the guy is not worth the money that he wants.
Right.
Okay. And if they did something like that, it's like, okay, did you throw 30 touchdowns? Did you win at least 2 playoff games? Did you get your team to the playoffs? Let alone maybe a division championship, Can you fucking hit these markers? If you can't hit these markers, you ain't getting paid shit.
Yeah, exactly. And, now you and I work a job with a contract, although it's ours, I don't know about yours, but mine is being dishonored right now through this shutdown.
Yeah.
But we work a job through a contract, and we have to meet the requirements of the contract to work it. So, of course, because our contract is not being met, we're doing what little bit we are allowed to by the Taylor Law to protest it. But, which isn't much. But we have to meet those requirements to get paid, and all these players, these professional athletes don't. And when an owner proposes something, they get in trouble. Like the whole thing with the national anthem. When some owners came out and said that you're not going to play for me if you don't stand at one, the only one who got away with it was Jerry Jones.
Yeah. The only thing I understand when it comes to professional athletes that is part of their contracts is they're required to do things like community service, which I think is great. If you're going to be a professional athlete getting paid that kind of money, you should be doing something to give back to your community besides putting on fucking pads or swinging a bat, Because you're playing a fucking game for your job. You're retiring after 5-10 years with enough money to have your kids not have to worry about working. You know?
Unless you bought a gold-plated Hummer or something.
Right. Unless you're fucking fiscally completely irresponsible and blow your cash. Which, hey, there have been players that have done that.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But we're blessed to be able to use your talents to entertain people and basically just play all day. Yeah, it's hard work. You got to put in the hours in the gym. You got to put in the hours studying playbooks or, you know, whatever. But at the same time, in the end, you're still ultimately playing a fucking game and contributing next to nothing except for, they're bored. Let's entertain them.
Yep.
You know? Where you got EMTs, first responders, cops, fucking COs, nurses, all these people, they're making
Commanding
fractions.
officer. I was trying to think what you meant. Well, all the acronym used, I was trying to think what you meant by CO. What, commanding officer?
Well,
I haven't heard that.
Actually, that's going to be bad. Ooh, Thomas is kind of fast. Sort of. Really? Either way, all these first responders, law enforcement, medical, first responding, or second responding, you know, people that provide essential utility, farmers, truck drivers, fucking, you know, these people that
retail,
the backbone of the society. You get rid of any of these, and society fucking dies. Look at what we're going through. Obviously, we don't need the sports, but they're making a fraction of what the sports are making. You know, and
I got to give it to a lot of the sports teams that stepped up and helped their non-essential employees throughout this you know, their arena workers and whatnot. But there were some owners that came right out and said, "No, we're not doing that," and then had so much backlash that they had to.
Yep.
And none of the owners are hurting financially.
No, not
a single owner in any of the big four sports in America are hurting financially. Now, the owner of the Pittsburgh Passion women's professional, that owner might be hurting, you know, but the owner of any of the big four are not, and they can take care of their employees.
Yep. And
yes, that was a good shout out to the Pittsburgh Passion women's professional football league. Go Passion!
Yeah.
My favorite women's football team. And yes, they wear black and gold because it's Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but I mean, even like I said with Hollywood, these guys, yes, they go through all this hard ass. Got to be away from their family while they shoot these movies, yada yada yada. You know, I get it, and you need proper compensation. Okay, fine, but again, you're just an entertainer.
Yeah, but on the same level, that proper compensation, sometimes the bigger of a star you get, the more ridiculous it becomes when you hold a show hostage over your salary.
Yep.
And it's a lot different than it was, say, in the early 1980s when the show held the Tom Wolpat and John Schneider hostage over their contract with the Dukes of Hazzard. That's a lot different than the Friends stars in the mid-90s demanding $1 million per episode.
You know what I think is another one that's really important that should probably make a little bit more, but they do all right depending on how well their product goes, is authors. The original entertainment. Books were entertaining people long before.
Unless your books are really, you know, like a Stephen King or a James Patterson, there's not a lot of money in writing.
Right. But I think you're going to see that come back here soon because there's going to be some things that potentially could happen where you're not able to watch television at all.
Since you bring up authors, I'm going to give a shout out to a girl I grew up next door to who has a book out. She's actually authored a children's book called Buster's Backpack, and then this year authored her first piece of nonfiction Hello, Sunshine, a caregiver's unexpected journey of love and loss. Amy Nicole Tangell, who I grew up next door as Amy Macy back then. It's a story about taking care of her mother when she was diagnosed with a rare blood disease. And you can get it on Amazon for $13.95. It's a really good read. It's a short read, but she definitely deserves all the,
support,
shout out she can get for what she had to go through with her mother. And, I just hope that more people can maybe read that and gain some inspiration from it. My house, my poor dog was sick yesterday. Yeah, she was throwing up and it was coming out both ends.
Bullshit.
Yep, and she's sleeping now. She's kept everything down today, but the poor dog and then my house it's gonna have that smell, and we're working on cleaning it, but
No, this weekend starts the really good weather, despite there being rain this weekend. So, thankfully, we'll be able to open everything up, air out everything.
Yes.
It'll be a beautiful thing. One second left in the half. Down 16-7. We're going to see where this ball goes. It's going out the back of the end zone, so we'll start at the 25. John Henry Johnson is on fire, but I don't want to run the ball. I want to kind of sort of see if I can't somehow pull out a fucking score on this play.
I'm just sending Amy a message now in case she wants to see or hear the shout out.
Right. I mean, not that we get too many viewers anyway, but we do get occasionally a few.
Hey, you never know. One viewer might hear that, and they might be going through something with their parent right now.
Yeah.
And they might say, I'm going to go get that book and I'm going to read it.
Right. Listen, it only takes one domino.
Yep.
The Jags trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
I've just got to do a better job of executing in this game.
I think that's the big thing. I think that it's coming easier to me because my teams are better rated. I have better players. But there are definitely issues with this game compared to Madden 18 that are different. And not better different.
Right. Like, there's nothing outrageous going on in this game. I'm just not executing when I need to execute. And Nelson's had, like, one terrible throw where he completely missed a wide open receiver.
No, these commercials. Buy my DVD so I can tell you how to make money. Yeah, here's an idea on how you make money. I want to make a DVD telling you how to make money. I'm going to make money off you watching my DVD.
Right. Hell, they don't even gotta watch it. They just gotta buy it. The 80s were so full of scams like that. In the 90s even.
Send their punter out now. As he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away.
How about that? So, one of the former owners of one of the semi-pro teams up in the not the EFL that we coached in, but the other league. It was one of the teams that came out after us. The Tigers, I think they were. One of the owners was just arrested for cocaine possession and running from the cops. Awesome. We never worked with the guy, so you wouldn't know him, and I'm not going to say his name on YouTube, but yeah, his ex-wife was just telling me that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, how about that?
Crazy.
Ooh, nice dunk. Nice jam by David Robinson. This is when I watched this. I miss basketball like this.
90s basketball was a lot better than shit today.
Oh yeah, it was a physical game back then. You couldn't just get together with all your buddies and have a mini dream team right in the middle of the NBA. You had to build a team.
Yep.
And that's another nice job there to force it in completion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game.
That was a pass play, not a run. You should not be losing this shit, but whatever.
Go now! 10 logo!
Good blocking eventually.
Huh. Oh, shit.
Why am I waiting for all these guys to fucking... He was out of bounds. Seriously?
This can't be real.
What's that?
The House isn't in session, so this can't be real. House Democrats moved to remove national anthem from sporting events.
I don't know.
That can't be
I
real.
saw that popping around somewhere. I think it's one of those old ones. It's been around for a while. I can't believe I missed that extra point. Now we're down by 3. Seems to be able to get some semblance going on here.
Yep. I really enjoyed watching these old games with. It's a small group that actually get on there night after night, but I've learned a lot more than I thought I knew about the game.
Yeah.
Just hearing the comments and stuff from these guys that some are younger than me, older than me, doesn't matter. I mean,
Right.
It always seemed growing up like I was an aboriginal, not knowing, that's not the word I want.
Yeah, I was gonna say aboriginal is kind of a, well, just another term for native, really.
Yeah, that's not the word I wanted. What am I thinking of?
Abnormal?
Abnormal, yeah. I was abnormal for how much I knew about football and stuff, but these guys, I mean, they know their stuff. It's a good group that are in this. I mean, it would be cool if there was about 50 people watching every night, but, the 4 that I got are hardcore. Actually, there's 3. I don't know why it's telling me 4. Is there somebody hidden? I don't know. Good for them, though. Now, when live sports start back up, I might not draw as well. But night after night, some people might. And but I have the ability to, like right now, I'm watching the Spurs Trailblazers game on laptop while you're on my TV.
Right.
And I could, and if possible, if the Red Sox are playing the Yankees right now, you'd be on my phone while the Red Sox Yankees were on the TV. The only time I really concentrate on one live sport is the NFL.
Right.
Because that's my passion.
Get upfield. Oh, I could have got away from that second guy. I was going to get way more yards. Ugh. Baltimore has sacked me 6 times. I have sacked them once.
Yeah. So, since my wife doesn't watch my YouTube stuff and doesn't watch your YouTube channel, right, I can talk about this without giving away a spoiler. I'd like to send a congratulations out to, of course they won't watch this either, but so what? Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins on announcing their pregnancy last night, live on Raw. It is not a WWE storyline, Becky Lynch having to relinquish the WWE Women's Championship, which she held for almost 500 days. And it's nothing like having your first child.
Right.
And being a part of that, and we all have stories on how we found out. But it's for them, they're both in the early 30s. This is going to be an exciting ride for them, and congratulations to the man and her man, Seth Rollins.
End of the third quarter. The score is 16-13 Baltimore, with the Steelers a 1st and 10 at the least, possibly 1st and goal. No, it's 1st and 10 on the 13 from the looks of it. 12. Threatening to score. At the very least, tie it up if the kick doesn't get botched. So I broke week and I bought the regular version of the Predator Hunting Grounds, and I haven't really been able to do much with it yet. I did the tutorial before I crashed for the day, and it seems like it's pretty fun. It takes a little getting used to the controls. So I've been reading about it a little bit here and there. Supposedly they're going to be pushing out some updates and stuff that'll expand upon it and whatnot. John Henry Johnson gets his first touchdown of the game. Starts. Actually, that opens up the Steelers' first lead of the game.
Do you know whereabouts I made that comment about the book?
When you did? It was before halftime, I believe. Right
Okay, I'm going to try and find it, because she'd like to hear it. She doesn't need to, obviously, listen to the whole game.
Right, it was right before halftime.
Actually, we are live now. I'll do it again. Hold on.
Plug it again, that's okay.
Let me send her the link to the game. No, that's the wrong game. That's the wrong game. That's Green Bay and Detroit. History. Oh.
Oh, somebody hit him. Make him fumble that ball. Jesus, that was just a terrible play. Baltimore's trying to stay alive. Oh,
okay,
intercepted by Saul.
So
cool. Saul might take this all the way for, look like might be a 99-yard return. That wasn't the button I want to push. He took it all the way back. Pick 6 for 95 yards.
good job.
So.
Okay, you've jumped a viewer. That might be her.
That could be.
Right. Oh, we should send a message. Let me get back to Amazon so I can make sure I get the title right and all that. Right, she just said she's clicking the link now, so that wasn't her. Okay, 6:02 to go in the fourth quarter. John and M's Pittsburgh Steelers leading the Baltimore Ravens 26-16 here in this Week 16 matchup of the 1964 Sack to the Future.
Yeah.
Earlier, we were talking about authors and how there are plenty of authors out there that don't make the big bucks, like the Stephen Kings and the Pattersons, but they deserve just as much credit for what they do and what they provide us. Now, I grew up next to, and I know I said this earlier, so if you're watching the whole video, just bear with me. She's on now, so I want to give her the proper shout out that she deserves. For Amy Nicole Tangell, a woman I grew up next door to, up north of Toronto, New York, as I always say. She had a situation a couple years back where her mother was diagnosed with a rare blood disease. The only known possible cure, I'm reading the thing from the book, Hello Sunshine is the title of the book. A Caregiver's Unexpected Journey of Love and Loss by Amy Nicole Tangell. You can get it on Amazon for $13.95. Hello Sunshine tells the journey of a young woman who becomes a caregiver to her mother when she was suddenly diagnosed with a rare blood disease. With the only known possible cure and a race against time, she shares how she balanced giving her mother the best possible care with being a full-time working mother who was faced with the devastating circumstances. Hello Sunshine is a tribute to a daughter's love for her mother and a story to pay forward to all caregivers seeking comfort and hope. And especially in this day and these uncertain times where we have people who are faced with this, it's an inspirational read. It's a good read. I suggest that you go out and get it if you need some inspiration and some hope. And for Amy and her husband and their kids and everything they dealt with through her mother's disease. And I grew up, Debbie was one of my bosses at one point at McDonald's, and she was also a neighborhood mother. And you know, it's a great book, and I suggest everybody will go out and get it. And I appreciate everything that Amy had to go through. And Amy, if you're still watching, listening, God bless you and thank you for helping other people. You there?
I'm still here, yeah. Okay. Like I said, we don't get too many viewers, but the ones we do get, like I said earlier, it takes one domino to fall to make everything go. You know?
Yep. Maybe that one person that needs the book will stumble on this video, and will find the inspiration they need.
Stranger things have happened.
Yep.
You know, and I'm okay with plugging anything like that. You know? No problem with that. We ain't making nothing off of anything. I'm okay with it. I'm not here to make money.
No, exactly not. We're here because we love the NFL and we deal with EA Sports.
Yeah, right. But I'll support anybody that's working their ass off to taking care of people they need to take care of.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right at my guy, and he couldn't do the frickin' motion. We stopped them at a 4th and goal. They're down by 12. Will they kick the field goal? No, they're going for it.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
And it's well out of bounds. That should, in theory, shut it down as long as I don't know if I scored more or not. We're down to the last 2.5 minutes of the game, so Anthony Johnson smashed there.
I've done videos in the past that are out of my comfort zone. Sometimes I'll talk about something that's not sports or wrestling related. Yeah. I did a video once for Colette McClafferty, who lead singer of Edible Red, who I hired a couple times as a music producer. And she had gone through some stuff, and you can find that video by searching. I believe her name is right in the title of my video. And I was talking about how she had been forgotten and abandoned by somebody in the entertainment business that she needed at the time. So I have the utmost respect for anybody that does this, because, you know, Colette and Edible Red, who you can hear their music on YouTube, never made it real big, but they had a good sound. They had a good vibe. They were a rock band with a cello. I mean, that's just awesome. Just from the beginning. And okay, I got a message from Amy. She said she loved it, and she thanks us.
I'm just happy that she's happy for it.
And she'd like to get a clip, so I'm going to edit. I'm going to download your video after this. I'm going to clip that.
Knock yourself out. Yeah. You're the video editor man anyway, so. What kind of throw was that? It was a terrible throw.
Say how long, you know the timestamp right now? I'd subtract about 5 minutes. So, I mean, I can look for the fourth quarter.
It was, yeah, it was around the turn of the quarter or right after the quarter started or somewhere around there. Worst case scenario, you spend an hour watching the video.
She said she'd love to share the clip for her readers, so.
That's fine. I am okay with that.
On the ball! On the ball! Ready? Hurry, hurry! Hurry, hurry! Get!
One timeout left. They're trying to do something. 15. They take the final timeout with 15 seconds left on the 25. Second and 17, and that should end the game. It is over.
Okay, so I want to go to YouTube. Well, how long do you think it's going to take to process your?
It doesn't take very long. Once I end it, it's usually up within a few minutes or less.
Yeah. Now I want to figure out.
It's faster through the PlayStation than it is, like, say, through your phone.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be actually on my laptop because I have to download the video.
Yeah. No, it should be up pretty quick.
I mean, I could live record that. Actually, that would probably be easiest. That I can't do until after the watch party is over, which will be at 10:56. I can't see the time on my watch party all of a sudden. And Facebook is frozen, so let me reload. Luckily, I learned it does not affect everybody else watching when it does that to me, but... Okay, 58 minutes.
The broadcast.